let's get into this. Reddit degeneracy.
Reddit is a bad place. You know what else is bad? Degeneracy. The corruption of the mind to
Degeneracy is fun, but when you go overboard, that's when it gets a problem.
even to primal desires. When somebody's brain is foggy, they'll do anything without thinking about the consequences. Now, if you don't know this, there are some stereotypes with Reddit. They've changed a bit over the years, but you can probably spot them if you spend enough time on the site. One of the most common stereotypes is that they're hedonistic. Whatever brings me pleasure at this exact moment, I want it. Reputation, respect, or the law be damned. One of these things is...
Honestly, that sounds like everybody in the last 5 fucking years. Like, everybody's wanting self-gratification immediately. But sometimes you gotta wait, bro. I don't know.
Is not like the others. Whether that means spending all of your money on Funko Pops, being high every minute of your life, being eternally online, or thirsting after people you've never met before, all of these apply to your average Redditor. Today,
I think I got 2 of those. Let me read. What did he say?
Or thirsting on Funko. Damn. One of these things is not like the others. Whether that means spending all of your money on Funko Pops, being high every minute of your life, being eternally online, or thirsting after people you've never met before. All of these
got 2 out of 4 of those.
Redditor. Today, I've compiled some of the most degenerate stories I could find on Reddit. If they're real or fake, that's up to you to decide. Whether they make you cringe, laugh, or contemplate the intelligence of your fellow man, these are the degenerates of Reddit.
Nah, I don't contemplate the intelligence of my fellow man anymore. I've seen too much stupid shit while working at Walmart. My belief is, you're interacting with someone, 9 times out of 10 they're fucking retarded. So just be nice and try to get over with the conversation as soon as possible.
No, I love Reddit. I've been on Reddit for like my whole adult life. I love Reddit.
Really?
I ain't gonna lie, I really only use Reddit nowadays to see titties and really fucked up videos. Like, yeah, that's the only reason I get on Reddit, is just to see really fucked up content or titties. I don't know what that says about my character, but that's what it is.
Great if, like, somehow if you went on Reddit, you died. Yeah. I mean,
what was it? r/confessions are the fucking great ones.
I mean, I personally work. I have like a 20-25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good.
Oh, this fucking turd. This fucking douche right here destroyed a whole movement. Like, was it anti-work r/anti? Yeah, right there. Like, it was picking up momentum and shit. It was getting like real steam power, but he goes on Jesse Waterson, I think, for an interview, and it just implodes it all. Complete turd.
So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
Reddit mods are a large contributor to society. They make sure threads are kept clean, they make sure rules are not broken, and they are heavily respected for their work. Now, being a mod must take a lot of time, especially if you mod more than one subreddit or you mod one big subreddit. Thankfully, they're compensated fairly for their hard work. I'd actually support a doubling of their pay, so if you agree with that, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, but this story starts on r/TrueOffMyChest, a subreddit where people anonymously rant about whatever is, well, on their chest. This is usually a recipe for bad things. Trust me, we'll get there. But this one isn't what you think it is. It's titled, "My husband is the moderator for a few different subreddits, and he genuinely thinks it's his job." It gets funnier. She goes on to explain that her husband is unemployed and refuses to look for a job. She tried to encourage him to get a real job, to no avail, as he, quote, has too much on his plate already. Her husband
Bro, I'm sorry, if you ain't making bread, you need to go. I'm surprised you hasn't kicked your ass out. Everybody needs a job. You don't got a job, you ain't got shit. You don't got money, you ain't got shit. You can't do shit, you ain't worth shit.
claims that his work is the equivalent of doing housework, although he doesn't do.
Yeah, me saying that, but I just recently got fired. Fucking hypocrite.
Do any actual housework, according to her. Now, this story sounds fake, but it's from a real profile whose post history backs up the claim. But as funny as this is, it's not the most hilarious part of the post. The funniest part is this now former pinned comment from user Power Moderator. Funnily enough, they say, quote, "I'm seeing many bigoted comments down there, so I just want to make this clear. Any hate towards moderators will result."
He got butt hurt and he starts deleting shit all the time. Majority of Reddit moderators, like, I put my personal opinion, just saying, hey, like, to each their own, but that's stupid as fuck. Instantly got deleted and banned from the fucking subreddit.
In a permanent ban from.
That's why I stopped putting my 2 cents or stopped commenting on Reddit. I think that's the reason why I stopped using Reddit so much. I don't know.
From this subreddit with no warning. This includes, but is not limited to, calling moderation a, quote, fake job, or saying that we, quote, do it for free. Moderation is one of the most useful jobs to society. Behave or get banned.
Look, Pim, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause.
Somebody replied.
Like, yeah. Like, I'm a little speechless on this one. Like, bro, you're a bureaucratic fuck. You like the bureaucratic process of waiting and shit. And if you ain't getting paid to do it, why do it? For the love of the game, or just having the control over banning people and dictating shit?
Replied to this with, power trip much? And the mod responded, it's not a power trip. I'm making sure that you, the users, don't commit hate speech. You can see me like a father preventing his toddler from making a mess. I'll admit that there is a flaw in this analogy. A child is not inferior to its father. You should be thanking me for my service.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh.
That cocksucker making it sound like he's going to war for you. What? That dude's delusional as shit.
Even harder.
Again, you may assume this is fake, and again, if you look at the person's post history, I'm inclined to believe it's real. Said moderator has a severe case of being eternally online and thinking the world revolves around internet interactions. This comment was originally pinned but has since been changed to reflect the new opinions of the subreddit's moderators, which is that they allow opinions that mods are bad, and this specific mod was butthurt about being made fun of. All I took from this was confirmation that the original comment was not satire. I'm saying this was real. Neglecting your family to moderate. Pure degeneracy, in my opinion. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you thought that was bad, you're in for a hell of a ride.
No, I thought that was pathetic. Don't.
Hey guys, before we continue, I just want to shout out today's sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles.
I'm sorry, if your mom is an OnlyFans model or your parents is OnlyFans models, you're cooked, dog. Hopefully you're really charismatic and people like you, so when you go to high school and somebody finds your mom getting railed by fucking 5 Jamals and 1 Tyrese, they won't blow up your whole world peace, if you know what I mean. That's the worst thing you could do. Well, one of the worst things you can do.
We'll send you a sweet plaque like this one here that will make you a lord. There's a historic Scottish custom of landowners being referred to as lairds, lords, and ladies. So basically what Established Titles does is give you a piece of land in Scotland to make you a lord. This will allow you to change your name to lord or lady on credit cards, plane tickets, and much, much more. The greater purpose of this is to conserve the Scottish woodlands and biodiversity. So with every purchase, you'll be contributing to global charities as they plant 1 tree for every order you make. Established Titles is currently having a massive Valentine's Day sale just for you guys, and on top of that sale, you can get an additional 10%.
I'm sorry if the title didn't come from the queen. It's not real. And she's dead, so there's no more fucking Established Titles going out anymore. The king, he's a pathetic fucking loser. Like, he shouldn't even have the position. But all I'm going to say is the UK died when the queen died.
Off any purchase you make with discount code GHOSTGUM. So click the link below or go to establishedtitles.com and use promo code GHOSTGUM to save an extra 10% today. let's get back into the video.
Redditors love sex workers, not because they believe it's a good or respectable
they like
career,
titties.
but because of the first word in the title. It starts with somebody who is allegedly 13, who claims his mom works on OnlyFans. She has her OnlyFans linked to her other social medias, and due to this, people from his school were able to find her OnlyFans.
He cooked.
As a result, people at his school began showing him pictures of his mom's OnlyFans and bullying him because of it.
Like, bro, how would you feel if you go to school one morning, just mind your own business, eating your goddamn Pop-Tart or toaster strudel, and you sit down for your fucking homeroom, and your boy comes up, hey, yo, is this your mom? And she's getting piped down. Or she got a mouthful of sausage. What are you going to do to that? What are you going to say to that? You instantly got to fight the motherfucker. People are all about the in the now, right now, and what can make my life easy now. But they don't think in the future of, if I make this decision, oh, I might fuck somebody up in the future. But, like, everybody's in the material world right now, I guess. I ain't no different. I want my shit now.
He brought this up to his mom, and she allegedly told him her job is no different to a job at a grocery store or a bank. The child feels trapped as he can't escape the torment.
I don't see how that
and bullying of
analogy
his
works.
Classmates with no support from his family. Now, this is a fucked up story, if it's true. And I don't even know what to do in this situation. I mean, a rational response might be get child services involved, get family counseling, contact the school administrator. I honestly have no idea. It's a very, very...
I'm going to tell you right now, the school administration ain't going to do shit. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They just want to collect their money and let the shit smoothly ride. And if anything, they'll just fucking kick the kid out of fucking school. Even though he's not the problem.
Messed up situation. But I'll tell you one thing you shouldn't do. Listen to the average degenerates who reply to shit like this. This is the fault of people who stigmatize sex work. Listen, it's not about finding a solution.
That's an angry bitch that does OnlyFans and only gets $100 a week.
It's about finding out whose fault this is. Sex work is work. Period. Even when
Angry
it's a mother
hoe.
ruining her son's life. It's almost like there are nuance in these sort of things, and they shouldn't be taken as black and white. What a concept. Now, if you go to this post right now, most of the top comments are alright. But I have a screen grab of when the post first went up, and it's hilarious. Redditors coming with their expertise, real-world advice of providing comebacks that are the equivalent of, I know you are, but what am I? And you're just ungrateful for your mother. Now, if you're asking for my personal opinion, the story sounds fake. It could be real, but there's a good chance it was fake trying to drum up a reaction, in which case some of these comments kind of call him out for that. That's not really important here, though.
Rage
What is
baiting is
important
always
is
good.
that there are Reddit users who would rather chastise a 13-year-old boy than admit that this situation is fucked up and potentially talk bad about sex.
Because they're in their own kind of same situation, bro. They see themselves as the mother. Like, that's why I feel... Like, it's the same way I view as crime. Like, people that are soft on crime, they're saying, oh, we're looking at the human rights of the attacker or the criminal. No, that you just see yourself doing the fucking crime, so when you do it, there's established history or precedent of going soft and easy on it instead of beating the shit out of you like you're supposed to. They're projecting. I guess what I'm saying. Rambling on like a retard.
And speaking of 13-year-olds, from Ask Reddit to basically any subreddit that can end up on the front page, you'll find degenerate posts from people asking about sex. But one place you'd hope not to find this is r/teenagers. That sounds like a recipe for illegal activity.
Yeah.
And it is.
Pedo alert.
r/teenagers is a huge subreddit, over 2.7 million members. A subreddit by teenagers for...
And I bet 2 million of them are actually like creepy ass adults / bots.
Teenagers. Where teenagers talk about teenage things, like how they don't have real friends outside of Reddit. What could go wrong here? That's right. A lot could go wrong. Now, it's no secret that teenagers are flesh sacks full of raging hormones, and that's okay. I've been one too. As long as you let that out in healthy ways, there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
It is very important to regard the first half of this statement. Now, there's a running joke on Reddit that r/teenagers is overrun by people who claim to be teenagers that are, well, not. And it's kind of a half joke that most of the people who ask about sex on this subreddit are not teenagers, because there is an absurd amount of sexual posts on this subreddit. It's a joke, but not really a funny one if it's true. But there's no way to know if it's true, right? Well, let me introduce you to r/drama, filled with degenerates in their own right.
Furries.
They have been involved in many Reddit scandals, pulling the strings behind the scenes, exposing the degenerates of Reddit, and being degenerates themselves. They're also the Rothschilds of the Love for subreddits, which you might be familiar with. So they put out a little feeler in order to test the theory that teenagers was made up of older creeps. Here's how the story...
Bro, that's like throwing a fucking rock in a pond and wondering if there's fish in there. Of course there's fish in there. Anything... What I've learned over my years of being online is if there's a space meant for children or underage people, half of, if not more of that fucking community is infiltrated with fucking perverts. And it's fucked up, but it's true. That's why I say, like, if you have a small child and you let them play online, have parental guidelines on, and be very vigilant on what the fuck they consume. Creeps are everywhere, dog.
It goes. r/drama decides they're sick of all the Zoomers coming to their subreddit.
I have had it with these motherfucking Zoomers on this motherfucking forum.
They're disgusted by the idea that Zoomers could come to their subreddit and post. They came to the conclusion that the way to prevent all of the Zoomers from coming to their subreddit was to ban every single r/teenagers user. But because teenagers is such a big subreddit, they might end up banning random people who accidentally subscribe there or people who have never used it, as it does end up on r/all sometimes. So in order to ensure they ban the right people, if a user was a frequent poster on r/teenagers, they'd be banned from r/drama. They created a handy-dandy bot that would find these frequent posters on teenagers and ban them from r/drama.
That's beautiful.
World, it would provide them with the message informing them that they have been permanently banned from r/drama, with the reasoning being underage. I hope you see where this is going.
I fucking love it.
These ban requests open, meaning that whoever got banned could appeal their ban with a valid reason. But in this case, there would only be one valid reason. It would be that you're not a teenager.
And you're being a fucking creep. This is beautiful. Why can't we have more geniuses like this?
Responded to their bans claiming that they weren't underage. Underage? I'm almost 34. Dude, I'm literally in my 20s. Here's some of the leaked mod mail. They looked at this mod mail and traced it back to the accounts.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
Here's a post from a man who is actually 54 years old. Here's a 34-year-old hitting on a 14-year-old. A teenage forum that's filled with groomers. Who could have seen this coming? Probably almost everybody. This really exposed what we all kind of knew about r/teenagers. This made so much noise that the mods of r/teenagers made a statement about it, saying that they can't police many people, which, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And you could argue that they should have put in some preventative measures and maybe the Reddit rules could be changed, whatever. For once in their entire history, the Reddit mods contributed something to society. A historic day. We've come a long way from chapter 1. Now, as I've mentioned in passing, there is a very sick disease going around now called being terminally online. It's weird that people base their entire lives off being online, and honestly, a little troubling. I think it does contribute to degeneracy like this. People in the real world do not act like this. So my message to you is get outside, hit the gym, eat healthy, and don't become the subject of...
Bro, I touch grass when I go out and cut the grass. Fuck you. I don't like going outside. I hate people.
Degeneracy. Resist your primal urges. And if you have kids, make sure they don't end up being like this guy. Also, did you know that there are subreddits where junkies congregate to share memes about doing hard drugs? Maybe that'll be a future video topic. Either way, it's hilarious.
It's pretty fucking, yeah. It's pretty fucking funny. That was a great video. I enjoyed it. That was nice.